Funny. Hello. Hello everybody. How are we all doing? Hello. Hello everybody. Hi. Hello. So, what's up guys? So, as of yesterday, I have completed my entire theme park. Although last live stream was only about an hour long, and off camera I managed to finish off this big thing behind me. Without your guys' support, this theme park wouldn't even be a thing. It would just be nothing. So I just want to say thank you everyone for making this theme park come true. For all of your patience, and thank you for waiting. And yeah, the theme park is finally finished, and I wasn't expecting it to be finished because this theme park only took me about 8 to 9 days to make, which is actually very surprising. I built this entire theme park in only 8 to 9 days. That's actually very surprising, guys. I think I may have broke the world record for the shortest amount of time of building a theme park, because this only took me 8 to 9 days, and that's actually very surprising and yet world breaking. So to celebrate finishing off and finished, to celebrate of me finishing this entire theme park, why don't I give you a little tour? So here we go. The first thing we have is a nice archway with trees about, and the first thing we come across is this circus tent. It's actually one of my favourite things about my theme park. It has a popcorn stand and it has a ringmaster character. I managed to make this actually look really cool, and there was a donkey in here, but for some reason I think it escaped. So the next thing we'll come across is our first ride, which is a swinging pirate ship. It's actually very cool. I managed to make this look very realistic. If you guys haven't been on one of these rides, you really should get on one of them. They're really fun. And the next thing we have is kind of like a trampoline. A multi-person trampoline that a bunch of people can go on. I'm sure that you guys been on one of these trampolines at a fair or a carnival or a theme park. I'm pretty sure these trampolines may have been everywhere around. And yeah, the next thing we have is a bumper cars. It is a bumper car ride, and unfortunately I didn't manage to make this a working bumper car ride. It's actually I pretended to be on a bumper car, and it's actually very, very cool. Yeah, so the next thing we have is a food truck. I actually made this look very nice and realistic, and we have some like picnic benches and a nice little archway with lights. And yeah, that's basically the food truck. The next thing we have is a go-kart track. This actually does work, and yeah, and will the minecart go on the track? Oh no. My minecart obviously does not want to. Guys, it obviously just wants to go on its own journey. But it's fine. I guess we can just place a minecart and just go for a little ride on this go-kart track. And it does actually work. And, well, you know, it actually does work as a fully working go-kart track, but you do get the experience of imagining driving a go-kart. as you can see, I'm racing this minecart, so I just get rid of that. And as you can see, I'm just slowly driving on the go-kart. One big drop right here. So that was fun. And the next thing we have is a basketball fair game. So basically, if you get the ball in the hoop, you win a prize, and I wasn't successful. The next thing we have is kind of like a bottle toss game, or bottle throw game, where you throw something and it makes the bottles throw down, or go down. The next thing we have is a ring toss game, or bottle toss. I don't even know what to say for this one. I don't even know what this is actually called, but let me know in the comments what these are called. I want your thoughts. So the next thing we have is a Ferris wheel. Now let me know in the comments if you've been on a Ferris wheel. I've been on a Ferris wheel multiple times, and if you haven't been on one of these, you really should get on one. They're really fun and quite frightening, because you might be really high up in the air. The next thing what we encounter is one of my favourite rides in the entire theme park, the Ghost Train. And this right here might be one of my most favourite rides throughout the entire theme park, because this, oh boy, this is frightening and quite cool, because I made it out of redstone. See, you have some fire, some jump scares, and some flashing lights, some fire, and some arrows, and see, we have like we have like ghost. Well, that wasn't expected. One of the arrows shot the minecart, so that's okay. So as we leave the Ghost Train, the next thing we have is a ride that I may or may not have been on. It's the Teacup Ride. Yeah, it's a Teacup Ride, and let me know in the comments if you've been on a Teacup Ride. The next thing we come across is a hook a duck game. Unfortunately, ducks are not in Minecraft, but we have fish. And if you manage to hook one of the fish, you get a prize. And I don't have a fishing rod in my inventory, but that's okay. The next thing we have is a fun house. This is very cool, because it's kind of like a parkour sort of obstacle course sort of house, and something fun to just play and have fun around. So there's this like mini track, and you flip the lever right here, where you can just and you can just have fun on this little mini track. And the next thing we have is a water obby thingy. I don't know what it's called, but you can just jump on the blocks and don't fall in. The next thing we have is one of the hardest. This is a very hard obby, so let's try. And as you can see, it just makes you fall. But you will see me cheat in just a second. You didn't see anything. Anyway, we have a water slide. Unfortunately, we have to make this a water slide because we can't slide down blocks in Minecraft, which is unfortunate, but we can make this a fully working slide by just using water and concrete. And that's pretty much it for the fun house. And as we leave, the next thing what we have is a kind of like a carousel made with redstone and rails and a minecart. And well, it's actually a nice fully working carousel. It's actually one of my favorites, and yeah, it just goes on forever and just never stops. The next thing we have is, this sounds insanely British to me. This is a helter-skelter So yeah, this is a Helter Skelter. Let me know in the comments below if you've been on one of these, on a Helter Skelter. I may have not been on one of these because I don't remember, but we go down this water slide. Unfortunately, like I said, we can't make this a actual slide because we can't slide down blocks in Minecraft because it's not, we can't do that, so we just use water. The next thing we have as we leave the Helter Skelter is a roller coaster. This is a very, very simple roller coaster. It didn't take me that long to make, surprisingly. And there's one big rise, two big rises as you can see, and there's one big giant fall as you can see, and it's actually really fun. And as you can see, I was shaking and I'm very scared because that was a scary roller coaster. It's actually a little bit frightening, but if you want to go on it, I don't blame you. The next thing we have is a kind of like a balloon popping game where you pop all balloons, you get a prize. And yeah, the next thing we have is a dunk tank. It's like when you just grab an arrow and you fire and it hits the target, and then as you can see I made it out of redstone back here, and someone stands on there and they get dunked into the water. And if you're successful. The next thing we have is a giant inflatable waterside. Unfortunately, I've said this multiple times, we can't make this a actual slide because we can't slide down blocks in Minecraft, so we have to use water. And well, yeah. So after that, the next thing we have is kind of like a burger van with a nice little seating area. It's just a van where you can just get burgers, and it's actually a very cool van. The next thing what we have is a swinging chair ride. These are incredibly frightening, especially for me. I've never been on one of these rides, but leave me a comment if you've been on one of these rides. I want to hear your thoughts. And the last thing in my theme park as we walk across here is kind of like an area full of food stands and games. So the first thing we have is a cotton candy stand. This is a very nice stand. This only took me about a few minutes to make, and it's not that hard. The next thing we have is a high striker game. You know that game where you grab that giant hammer and you hammer it down and see how much you get and see your strength. And so far I put signs that say not quite, and at the top, strong. And it's actually very funny. And the next thing we have is a hot dog stand. And lastly, a balloons cart / balloon stand. And I think that's pretty much it. Guys, that's pretty much it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this series as much as I did. And yeah, this only took me about 8 to 9 days to make, like I've been saying multiple times. So I'd just like to say thank you everyone for supporting this series and following me along with this journey of making this theme park. And without the way, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting this series, and I'll see you guys in the next video today. Good.